going to go up here. Before we do that, remember this week, some terminology we're going to cover while we talk about scheduling. One of them is the order bank. So the order bank is where the dealer places all stock and retail orders. The retail orders are customer placed orders is what they call those retail orders. And then stock orders are orders that are placed by the dealer for stock or lot inventory. So why will the dealer place a stock order if they have retails in there? And it's because if a dealer has allocations, but they only have a couple orders but they have more allocations than what they have retail orders, they want to put some stock orders in. An example of that is F-150 Lightning for us. We get 4 Lightning allocations this month, and we had one. We already had all of our retail schedule, so we had to add some stock orders in there, or they wouldn't schedule anything. So, priority codes is a priority a dealer is giving to the orders. Now it's anything from a 03 to 19 for a retail order, 20 to 80 for stock. Lower is better, which is why retail orders will always be looked at before a stock order for the same configuration. Scheduling: when Ford schedules an order for production date in the future months, they'll schedule it for a date in the future. So usually they'll be scheduled to the day or to the week for those production dates, and that's when Ford plans to build those. Now, allocations, we've talked about that a little bit. Ford gives dealers an allocation to schedule their orders. An order cannot be scheduled for production date without a dealer having an allocation to fulfill that order. So a dealer would earn those allocations from their sales for each model within their region, typically. And that usually is how that works. So this month we're getting 22 Maverick allocations. It's based on our average in a sense. Usually we sell about 25 on average a month. Reason we got 22 and not 25 is because we had some stock ones still left over on the 20th. And so we were actually dinged that, and they took 3 away. Typically how that works. And again, it's a volume. We're selling 40 this month, so our number next month could be 40 to 50 next month. So we'll just have to see, or at least higher than 25. Constraints are options that are in short supply or may take longer to build. We'll actually talk a little bit about that here in just a second. Capacity is a planned production rate for a given motor trim or option for the year. Again, we'll talk about that because I got some information I think to share that can enlighten us a little bit about that. Job 1, job 2, those are production runs within a model year. They usually split them up into different jobs in case they need to make any changes. Like there's a problem with like Bronco Sport last year. They had an issue with the black roof, so they switched to body colored for the second half or job 2, and then balance out. That is the end of production. They're balancing out their production for that model or that option or something like that. Some of these are already in that build out status that we're going to talk about. So, all right. If there's any of those that I talk about that you question that we need to add to that, let me know. I'll have to rewrite it because I don't even have that anymore.
Right.
So I'll have to figure it out because I need to update that. But all right, let's get into talking about some scheduling. All right. So, they're actually, these documents I use are ones that people are starting to put on social media and different forums. I don't like that they do that. And yes, I do cover them, but I cover them and explain. Whereas some people just put those up there and they don't explain, and then people have to try to guess, and then that's how rumors start and everything else. So
Yep.
It's always a good idea. And there's information in there that, you know, people that have a retail order, there's not a really reason for them to know to need to know that information, like what SIMs are and different things like that.
Or
and some other stuff, OTDs
fleet.
and stuff like that, and fleet stuff. I mean, so I really wish that, you know, they wouldn't post those, and Ford actually asked dealers not to do that. And if dealers continue to do that, they'll stop giving dealers this information, and then they'll just make them guess, which isn't good. All right, so let's talk about the 24 Mustang first. They are scheduling this week, this Thursday, for production dates the weeks of October 2nd through the weeks of October 23rd. It does say dark horse retail orders should be prioritized ahead of stock orders for specialty allocation, and as long as they do. So what they're telling dealers is don't put your retail orders in the stock orders. So if you have a retail order, then put it in that way. We do that with a lot of ours. If like right now we have a Bronco Raptor allocation this week, we don't have a retail order. So right now we have the stock order in there so that we make sure we get one scheduled, but we can change that to anybody's configuration that they want. And whenever a retail order, because we actually had this come up and I was going to make it the is it true, but I'm not. Bronco Raptor, there was some confusion about that. The order banks are open for Bronco, including Bronco Raptor for 24. The reason why you want to put a retail order in is so that you get scheduled or so that it gets locked in for price protection, right? So instead of a dealership doing a stock order in there, the stock order will never be price protected, right? But you do with the retail. So that's why if you have a customer that wants to do a retail order, plus it allows you to tier your orders out. So let's say you have 5 people that want to order a Raptor. You don't know how many, like we don't know how many allocations we're going to get on a Raptor yet for 24, but we put those in an order, then it's time stamped, right? And so then that way, when we do get that allocation, they'll be selected based on that priority, and then we can stack them that way. So anyway, okay, I digress. Also, for retail only orders is the GT Performance package. So that package is only available for retail orders. So not available for a dealer to put on a stock because they want to save those all for retails. Also, exhausted availability means that right now they're struggling to build vehicles with this option, and that is option 64M. That is the 20-inch optional wheel. That's the alloy wheel that is optional on the 200A and 201A. That's your premium EcoBoost, and your 400 and 401A, which is your premium GT, your GT premium wheel. So that's the optional wheel. So you'd want to stay with your stock wheel on those if you want to be selected for scheduling. And the 24 model year order banks are open for the Mustang. There's currently 847 orders in the order bank right now. So keep that in mind. And of those 847, about 152 are GT. So, and then 59 are convertible. So not a lot for those. So anyway, there's probably, some of the others. All right, moving on. 23 Escape. No scheduling this week. There's currently about 430 orders in the order bank. And on the Escape, there's really not that many. There's about less than 10 plug-in hybrid orders, retail orders in the order bank. So feel free, if you have one of those you don't think you're going to get scheduled for a plug-in, you got a chance. Go ahead and put that plug-in hybrid order in for your Escape. Actually, no, don't. Because you can't. Because 23 model years up and 24 opens up in 2 days. Forgot to mention that. 2 days. Escape opens up. So if you're looking for a video on that day, we'll be doing we're going over what's different between 23 and 24 because we don't have a lot.
I feel like they just started shipping them out.
We do have some information. I could cover stuff without a broadcast. Are we close enough now? We can talk about that. Nah, we won't talk about that right now. Anyway, if you want information on that, look for that video on Thursday.
Can you lease an ordered Maverick?
Lease an ordered Maverick. Yeah, you could, but the lease rates suck.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
Well, yeah. Someone said that they would lease a Maverick for 3 years, but there aren't any in stock. You have to order it. Well, you can still lease an ordered vehicle.
Yep. On your ordered vehicle, you can still do lease. Yeah, all those incentives still apply. So, in fact, they'd be based on what it was when you ordered or when it comes in.
Yes.
So, all right. 24 model year Bronco Sport. We are doing startup scheduling for the Bronco Sport.
Yay.
20, and don't forget, 24 model year order banks are open. There's about 552 orders in the order bank. So there's plenty. Probably wouldn't take you long to get scheduled for a Bronco Sport. They are scheduling for weeks in the last part of October, the week of October 10th through the week of October 30th. So also late availability is the black appearance package, option 67G. So that's not even available to order yet, I don't believe. And then the freewheeling series is retail scheduling only. And it does say late availability for that as well. So there you go. On that, I mean, nothing's really over capacity because, which we're going to get into that. So there are some sheets that are being floating around, and I'm going to show you here in just a little bit when we get to Maverick. And I'll show you why just posting those sheets, which it's confidential, it says confidential all over it, is not a good idea because it's misleading. It looks like they have too many orders than what they have capacity for, but that's not true because the capacity column is for the year, whereas the retail order bank, that's a percentage based on the order number that's at the bottom. So we'll talk about that in a second. So really Bronco Sport should be good no matter what you order. You should be okay to go there on about anything other than, of course, the Sport Appearance package. Edge. 24 Edge. They are scheduling this week for production weeks, a week of October 2nd through October 23rd. You'll notice most vehicles are scheduling for October build dates. There's only 126 Edge orders on the order bank.
Mm-hmm.
If you want one, don't order one. We got a bunch in stock. We'll sell you any of the one we have. Got awesome deals on them too. There's a reason why they're sunsetting the Edge. I think we have 8 in stock. It's crazy. Anyway.
Yeah.
So there's not really any capacity issues there on that. Now we'll go to Bronco. So 23 model year Bronco. There's about 13,000 orders, unscheduled orders in the order bank. They are scheduling for the weeks of September 18th and the week of September 25th. And again, the two-door Heritage Limited is being delayed for production and scheduling, but yet they told me that they're trying, their goal is to schedule those. So we'll get into that in just a second. For 23, because you're not able to accept any 24 model year Heritage Limited orders for two-door. So that's a note. Says, quoting them, says Heritage orders are not 23 model year Heritage orders are not impacted by the 24 model year pause, which meaning you cannot order a two-door Heritage or Heritage Limited right now. It says we are still working to schedule and produce as many 23 model year Heritage Edition Broncos for customers. 23 model year scheduling continues into late September, they said. So they're continued. So it looks like they're going to be scheduling this month and next month. So probably 2 more months of scheduling, which works. Hopefully we get ours. We have 5 Heritage Editions that need to get scheduled. And then we have 11 others. So between the 2, we have 9 allocations this month. We should hopefully get all of ours scheduled. Cross our fingers. Anyway, moving on. Says they are restricting a restriction on PG1, which is the shadow black paint for non-Raptors. I actually told somebody in Bronco 6G, they said, I want that color, and they have an Outer Banks 2-door. Well, 2-door and Outer Banks is not available in 24, so they really want to get it scheduled. I said, well, switch to your secondary color, get it scheduled, and then see if they can flip it over, which we're going to talk about later. And try. It might work. Now, orders that they are needing ASAP, they said. I've never seen them put this. Orders needed as soon as possible is Outer Bank with the 312A. That is your mid package. They need those orders. Black Diamond orders with the mid or without the mid. Badlands with a 331A or 332A with an upgraded to leather. It actually said leather. And the Wild Track 352A, which I think is just a mid package one. So, and then Badlands would be your base and your mid. So 2 is usually mid package. 3 is your Lux. 4 is your 4 is your Lux. 3 is your high package. Anyway, also they didn't put this in this note, but they did tell us Big Ben with a Sasquatch is also needed. So right now, one of the exhausted things is the Big Ben wheel, 64E. That is exhausted right now. But if you have a Big Ben with a Sasquatch, you're more likely to get scheduled, especially if it's soft top 4-door. Also, it says limited availability on the 360-degree camera, which is your high package and above. So, which is why it probably makes sense that they're looking for mid packages, right? Because it doesn't have high or Lux. So there's your quick build right now. If you want to get scheduled for, if you have a 23 order in there, if you're looking 4-door cloth top with a mid package or less on about anything, you're good to go. You're probably going to get scheduled like this week. I mean, that's how easy that would be. It does say limited availability on hard tops in all series. We'll see how that works out. Anyway, let's see what else. Yeah, I think that's about it. Of the 13,000 orders, there's about 6,000 with Sasquatch package on them and about 6,000 with Lux package on them. Not that many, really. All right. Next, 23 Explorer. About 753 orders in the order bank. We do have, they are scheduling this week for production dates October 2nd through the weeks of October 23rd. Now, there is a note in here for Explorer. They said, due to plant harness limited availability, dealers must make the following spec changes on their unscheduled orders. So just say add the Class 4 trailer tow package to all existing and future 23 model year ST line, King Ranch, and Platinum orders. Remove the Class 4 trailer tow package on all of your existing and future 23 model year Explorer Limited 300A orders. And it says cancel and resubmit existing 23 model year Platinum orders with rear-wheel drive. You need intelligent four-wheel drive on a Platinum. So all future 23 model year Explorer Platinum orders will require intelligent four-wheel drive to be added as well. And then unscheduled orders that are not spec changed, they do not make those changes. They will not be selected for scheduling. They will not be looked at. So it does say scheduled orders with will be spec changed or canceled depending on the configuration by Ford during the week of 8/21, which is this week. So basically, if you have an order that doesn't have the tow package for ST line, King Ranch, and Platinum, then they're going to add that onto your order. If you have a hitch, the Class 4 trailer tow hitch on your limited 300As, they'll remove it. And then if you have an Explorer Platinum that's rear-wheel drive, they'll cancel that order and make you resubmit an order with all-wheel drive. So just something to take note of there. And don't forget the 360 camera needs the removal option added to it if you have the 360 camera as standard equipment or as an option or part of a package. Also, limited availability is your XLT Sport appearance package as well as four-wheel drive. And then exhaust availability for the Class 4 trailer tow package. So because they're having issues with that, you'll need to make sure that if you have the luxury trims, you're going to get it. But if you don't put it on there, you probably won't get scheduled. Also, exhaust availability for the ST high performance package, as well as XLT version and ST line version. So they're getting to the end of 23 production, as you can see there. I've seen the 24. It looks really good. They could be pleased if you end up getting flipped to 24. Maybe it's time to just wait for 24 at this point as well. Might be an option. All right, moving on. 24 Ranger. There's about 2,500 orders in the order bank, retail orders, not counting Raptor. They are scheduling for the weeks of October 16th through the weeks of October 23rd. So it'd be a 2-week scheduling there. Limited scheduling due to production availability. Don't forget on your Ranger Raptors to remove that dealer installed option, spare tire lock. That's been on there for several weeks. Also, don't forget if you have FX4 package, you need a running board added to your order. So for the Sport appearance package, you need the black one. If it's the Chrome appearance package, it needs the Chrome option put on there. So they will not get selected until that is put on that order. And job one's going to be starting soon. September 11th is the week. That week, I think, is when they're going to start building the 24 Rangers. It's exciting. Speaking of 24 Maverick is scheduling this week. So 4 build dates, the weeks of October 16th, as well as the weeks of October 23rd and 30th. So they're going to be scheduling for those weeks. There is this sheet that's been going out. I can show it because it's already been on the internet. This sheet here that actually shows down here, black appearance package. Black appearance package is not a late availability option on the Maverick. So that is a myth. Oh, man, that was going to be my Is It True?
Stop doing stuff.
We'll stop and we'll talk about that later. But anyway, they're scheduling for those build dates. There's about 53,000 orders in the order bank. We know that number now. Some people said, well, does that mean low demand? I think a lot of people maybe are not ordering, maybe because of price increase. But I also think some of it is that dealers have so many carryover orders that they didn't take any. But 53,000 orders is still a lot of orders when you think about it. I mean, there's 13,000 Bronco orders in order bank right now for 23. Granted, that's just 23 model year, but 53,000 is a lot. And that's U.S. orders. So that's pretty good. But still a lot more orders they can take. So if you want a Maverick, I'm telling you, you're going to be able to get one scheduled. You have that availability. There should not be any issues whatsoever with getting a Maverick scheduled for this model year. They're not carrying over next year, folks. If you order a 24 model year, I believe you're going to get your vehicle this year. So, and here's how we're going to show this. So let me pop this on because this is already out there on social media. I can share this. So this is not me. Oh, Tim, you said not to share this. Well, here we go. We're gonna kind of show you this now. Here, let's take that off.
So real quick, he says Tim cracks me up, stays on script. That's why he's got Sarah. Here, I'll remove it. And then you started going to it ahead of time. So
all right. So this is a copy of the Maverick restrictions, is what they call that, your commodities. So little known fact on this, again, people posting this and not explaining it. That left column that says U.S. capacities, that is for the year. So that is the capacity percentages for the entire model year. And let's think about this for a second. They've been building about 10,000 Mavericks a month. That's 120,000 Mavericks for the year. Now, let's break down the next column. That's retail U.S. order bank. That is percentage based on that bottom number that says retail orders, which is 52,941. So when you look at hybrid and say, well, they're over hybrids, you better not order a hybrid. Well, no, let's break this down by percentages. So if you do the math, 68% of 52,941 orders is 36,000. They plan to build 66,000 hybrid Mavericks this year. Well within that. Every hybrid that's in there right now is going to get built, folks. They have the capacity for that. Yes, it might be within dealerships, allocations. Like for us, if you ordered one with us, probably not, because we're already to our capacity. But if you find a dealership that has available allocations, go ahead and order a hybrid. It's going to come in. Will it take longer than the EcoBoost? Yeah, because if you look, 32% of the current orders, there's 16,941 EcoBoost orders, and they can produce 54,000 for the year. Yeah, it's only going to take them, a third of the year to get through those, whereas it could take them a half the year to get through the hybrids. So yes, an EcoBoost would come sooner than a hybrid. Hopefully this is making sense to everybody. Also, when you look at some other things like black appearance package, for instance, where the capacity is, is 11%. So they plan to make somewhere around probably at least 13,000 black appearance packages. There's only 6,300 in the order bank right now, based on your number at the bottom, and 12% of that's 6,352, doing the math, right? So even though it's got this little red thing over there, it says 1, like it looks like they're over capacity, they're not, because that is a capacity based, that's a percentage based on that bottom number, which is current orders. If the current orders were maxed out and they were sold out and that number was already like 120,000, then that would be something to worry about. But where that's not, you don't have to be concerned. There's only one number out of this whole list here that's over capacity for the year, and that's your splash guards, which I've told you a long time ago, take the splash guards off. Now, I've said in the past, don't put tonneau covers, don't put your bed extenders on either. And the reason I say that is because if you look, that number is very low, right? So they're only going to build for the entire year, like bed extenders. They're only going to put 2,400 bed extenders on 120,000 orders, right? That's a slim number. So it will take longer for those to put built on there. But other than that, you're okay. Let's look at the hitch. This is one I've been coining the phrase, ditch the hitch. So trailer hitch, their capacity is 65%. That's 78,000 Mavericks will be built with a hitch. And that's the ones with the package and without.
Yeah.
And currently there's 33,800 orders with a hitch on it. So I'm retracting the ditch a hitch.
Yes.
Phrase. Go ahead and put your hitch on there. An optional hitch. Will it take longer if you put that on there? Possibly. But will it get built this year? Yes, I feel like it will. So anyway, I needed like some special like music for this stuff. When I go on this rant, that I just put it on there, and it's just some nice like theatrical background music. We'll work on that. Anyway.
First, we need to add stuff to the slides. Everyone's been saying that for months. Let's work on that first, and then we can work on theatrical music when you're talking about something suspenseful.
And we'll talk about priority twos. Some of you have priority twos, some of you don't. What's the information about? Maybe that'll make that the is it true, since I messed up the is it true. But yes, black appearance package is not a late availability item. Don't worry about that. That is an error in that sheet. They copied it from Bronco Sport over.
Yeah.
So they are fixing that If you looked at if you looked at it from the day, it was corrected.
So I posted that, or I commented that into that thread, and then I was like, "Hey, come look at the comment I got." And it's this guy holding up his son at a hockey game, and he's just like, "Yeah, loved it."
All right, moving on. 24 Expedition. Looks like they are scheduling this week. They have 951 orders in the order bank, scheduling for weeks in October, week of October 2nd through the week of October 23rd. All the Platinums will require the optional 22-inch wheel. So, and then they're going to start building next week. So 24 production starts August 29th. Pretty exciting. Now, Super Duty, they mentioned in here 23 Super Duty. So I don't know. I guess they're still trying to schedule some more Super Duties, which is funny because the commodity information they gave us has 24 listed and numbers for 24. So I don't know. So not sure on that. They should be scheduling for production weeks in September for Kentucky and October, well, mid-September through October for Ohio truck plant, which is usually where the cab and chassis are built, and your like XLs and some of those dualies and such. 23 model year balance out scheduling, so they're trying to finish out 23, fill in those last slots. Limit availability for F450 and F550 and Platinum. Exhaust availability for Limited and King Ranch. I don't know if I'm going to go through all these. It's the same ones as last week, folks. We're getting down to the end, the nitty gritty, and so they're just trying to fill in the last one. So there's a lot of exhausted availability on things. Again, Star White, though, Tri-Coat is exhausted. The Baja interior code 5J and 6J is also exhausted. Java interior, which is your King Ranch interior, is exhausted, and the Lariat Ultimate package. So, and then balanced out colors, Stone Gray, Azure Gray, are balanced out altogether. So if you have those two colors, you got to switch as well. So, at this point, if you have like an XLT or an XL order, you're good. You're going to be scheduled probably, especially if it's a 250, that kind of thing, 350 dually. But anything else, if you have a cab and chassis, it's going to be a struggle. So anyway, so there you go. I won't go into too much of that. If you want, I could email you guys that if you you need it. All right, moving on, getting there. F150, 2,837 retail orders in the order bank. They are scheduling for the week of 9/25. They actually broke out the Lightning from the F-150 for this week, but they're going to put them together next week. Not really much there. We already know about the heated steering wheels coming back. We've talked about that for several weeks, so people can remove that option of the removal for the heated steering wheel. Otherwise, not really too much constraints on F-150 right now. They are trying to shift over to 24 though. So for those dealerships putting in stock orders, there are some notes that you might want to look at for you in that. Lightning, they're scheduling for this week. So we do have 4 that are previewing today, all stock ones. If you want to put in a retail order with us, we'll take it, and we'll probably get you scheduled. You can even order it tomorrow, and we probably get you scheduled on Thursday, that quick. Anyway, we do have allocations for that. We are the #1 Lightning dealership in the state, in case you didn't know that. Not a shocker. Kansas.
That's only the second time he's mentioned it. Let's see how many times he does.
Get it? Shocker. Anyway. All right. 23 model year Mach-E. 33 orders in the order bank. Not a lot. They are scheduling for build weeks October 2nd and through October 23rd. They're basically at this point, they're to the point now where most of the retail orders are getting put in quickly, and they're scheduling those. So at this point, they're really working towards stock orders. So we're going to start seeing that with Lightning as well as with Mach-E. You're going to start seeing these vehicles on dealer lots. So they're to that point. And then the only exhaust availability is select version with the standard range and the premium version with the standard range. So that is that new battery, which I'd love to see how that works. But anyway, I don't think we have anything else for that. Transit Connect van and wagon, they are scheduling this week for weeks in October, the week of October 2nd through the weeks of October 23rd. There's about 3,000 orders in order bank. They say there's no commodity problems at all. 23 Transit, they have 14,500 orders still in the order bank. So, yep. So that's happening. They're scheduling for the weeks of October 2nd and the week of October 9th. They said they do recommend dealers switch over the 360 camera into the high resolution camera. So change that out. And they are looking for 3.5 liter V6 Cyclone engine 998 orders are needed from dealers, with remaining non-E Transit orders or allocations, I should say. We need allocations because we got orders. We just need allocations. Limited availability on the high roof jumbo bus, the high roof long bus, the power sliding door, the trail package, heavy duty cargo flooring, the 10-way power driver passenger ebony leather, Sync 4 with a Sirius XM, vented wheel arch moldings, and the engine code 99G, which is a 3.5 EcoBoost GTDI engine. Exhausted availability on a 360-degree camera, balanced out on the power running boards, the side barn doors, the all crew van body codes, same as last week. This is all the same as last week. And not available for stock orders is that 99G engine, because they're going to try to save as many as they can for retail orders, as well as not available for for 360 camera, or it even says high res camera for stock orders. So anyway, there you go. That's it. That's it. A little bit of scheduling and a little bit of rant there, and a little bit of knowledge there dropped, hopefully, on how to read those a little bit better. So hopefully that educates some people. Instead of seeing those out there on social media, you know a little bit about what that means. So if you see that negative, it's not always a negative. You got to look at how many orders there are and what the production level is for a year before we start worrying about that. So get later in the year, then there you go. Any questions?
Yeah. We got some.
All right. I'm ready.
We haven't seen Tim use his soapbox icon for a long time. I wonder if it was retired.
No, I had it in the other. We're using a different platform. I don't have that.
Yeah. You use it every now and then. You go to B&H, New Yorkers will get that. Yep.
All right. Get your questions.
All right. Would you mind having a sticker here for Packers?
Give me one. It needs to be that big.
My stitch fit.
Really small.
Needs to be that big.
That big. I have some ones
So,
from some
like,
different people.
Not even as long as my fingers, just
Yeah,
like 3 inches.
My Ford Video guy sticker's too big.
Yeah.
That's that's not very big. So anyway. All right.
All right. So how fast can a Priority 2 Maverick Hybrid XLT with black appearance be built?
Depends on how many Priority 2s your dealership has.
Yep.
So again, that's still because they are doing Priority 2s. The reason they're doing that is so that that means that's a carryover order. So they want to schedule those first. Like this week, we have 22 allocations, and all the ones previewing are all O2 priorities. So yeah. So it really depends. There's a lot to go in there depending on what dealership you're with and that kind of thing. Like for us, we don't have any say-so on any of our orders because most of ours are carryover orders, so they're all going to be like Priority 2s, or at some point we'll talk about that here in a second. We get to the what's on my mind. So what was I going to say for the is it true?
You already said it.
No, I said
black appearance package.
I came up with something else though. I don't know. Anyway.
Go back and watch it.
I do that all the time on my member lot walks. I'm like, I have an idea of what I want to talk about during the next walk and talk, and then I forget it by the time I get there. All right. Next question.
All right.
The answer to that is I don't know.
Quick question on my 23 Bronco order. If I don't get scheduled, does my reorder get priority and private offer? Trying to figure out what's next. I'm trying to get contact back from sales.
There is no private offers on any unscheduled 23 Bronco orders because they told dealers ahead of time, here's how many allocations you're going to have as your estimate. Here's how many you should get in all these. And because of that, the dealer shouldn't take in more orders than what they could handle. And so they're not giving those. So they've already said that. So it would be kind of cool for them to give them to the Heritage Editions, because I don't think they're going to get all of them scheduled. So that's not really fair. But we, to be honest, we probably took more Heritage Edition orders than we should have. I mean, to be fair, I mean, we knew where our number was and we took more than that. So that's kind of on us. But no private offers, and the priority is going to be up to the dealership. So when you place that 20, like what we're doing is we have a couple, we went and placed the order, even though they should schedule this week, but we placed a 24 order anyway. We're going to give them like a priority 03, and any new order that wasn't a carryover, we're giving them priority 10. So we will stack ours accordingly, and so should every dealership, hopefully.
All right. Also, do you guys install the Ford Performance Turner on Bronco in-house in case I don't get 2.7 since I'm in 23?
Well, don't know about Ford Performance. Niles can probably answer this better than I can, but I have the Roush one on mine with the exhaust. I love it. I feel like I get some boost. Only about 20 horsepower, probably. I mean, they won't actually tell you. I have the actually installed that's non-tuned, but it has a cold air intake. The tuner should be available soon, and once it is, I'll try to have them do that so that I can get a little bit more boost out of it. But Roush is another way to go. But the Ford Performance, I don't know. I guess that'd be an aftermarket question. So maybe if Niles is doing here, he can answer that.
All right.
Might be something we'll need to look into.
When ordering an F-150 Lariat with Copilot 360, is Ford still deleting the camera, or can you now get it?
I believe it is still removed.
All right. We use Roush, but yes, I believe we could, says Niles.
Yes. So yeah, we're a Ford Performance dealer, so anything Ford Performance has, we can do. So.
Yep. All right.
We're just like any other Ford dealer. What any Ford dealer can get, we can get. So
okay.
We're all the same. Same.
Okay. Does Ford ever offer special finance deals as of late for Mavericks or Broncos? Have Mav scheduled and Bronco Everglades is ordered with your dealer?
No. Oh,
Not
so
right
they
now.
do have their Maverick with us. So a priority 2 with us, it doesn't. It's going to be hard to tell because I haven't actually broken down to see how many black appearance packages. I can, because I can look at interior colors, so I can figure out how many we have, but I haven't gone through that information yet. I'm kind of trying to make sure all of ours get the priority 2, which we'll talk about. Oh, that was what it was.
So he's wondering, his orders with us, Everglades seems to be only 2%. He has an order with us, wondering what the odds will be to get built.
2%. Yeah. I don't know how many Everglades orders we have. I don't think we have that many. We don't have too many Bronco orders in there right now.
All right.
Yeah. We were able to get most of our 23, almost all of our schedule. I think we're down to 18 unscheduled 23 orders. 9 will get scheduled this month. We'll be down to 9. They'll carry over. And then for new orders, some of the new orders that are in there are actually some carryovers. But once they get scheduled, we'll be able to cancel that order. Yeah. So we'll be able to see. But I don't think there's more than just a couple Everglades. So I think your chances are pretty good with us. Yeah. So.
All right. So on with the Broncos. So if you have a 23 Bronco order in, do we wait until September to put in the 24?
Let's wait until see what happens. What I was telling a lot of the sales guys, I said, let's just wait till this week because the order banks aren't going to close and we don't have too many orders in there. Let's wait and see what schedules this week. So that's 9 orders we don't have to order, right? That saves everybody a headache. It saves the customer from having to do CLVP. That saves us from having to do it. It just, that's just, I think that's what we should do. We went ahead. I know there were some customers that just were adamant. They wanted to get that order in because here's the reality for us is that if you have a carryover 23 order, it doesn't matter if you put that order in last week when it opened up, or you put it in 2 weeks, we're still going to give you the same priority, which is an 03 because you had a 23 order that went unscheduled. And when we put that one in, what the things they're going to look at first is configuration that they want to schedule for. And then second thing is they're going to go based on priority before they worry about that date it was ordered. So if we have a new order that's a priority 10 that's ordered on the 16th and a carryover order that we give a priority 3 that was ordered 2 weeks later, that 3 is always going to be looked at before that 10, even though that 10 was put in first, if that makes any sense. So really, let's wait and see what schedules. Those 9 people that get scheduled, we don't have to order. That leaves us with 9 we need to put in. So I would say at that point, after starting next week, if you're not scheduled by Thursday, Friday, then we go ahead and put that 24 order in. And I think we still have 1 more month of scheduling. If that happens, then we can cancel the 24 order. So that's what I'd say at this point. We're 1 week out. Let's go ahead and put that order in for the 24 if you don't get scheduled this week.
All right. So I had a local dealer here quote me a 2024 Maverick build out in 8 to 12 weeks. Don't know how accurate that is.
Well, that does a couple factors that can go into how quickly it can be built. For one, they're not going to start building until October. So the earliest builds will come in December, right? So that's 4 months away. So you've already surpassed the 8 to 12 weeks. So that's not right. So the very earliest ones will be December builds, deliveries. But also how many allocations they get each month based on how many orders they have. So if they're a dealership that only has a couple orders and they get enough allocations that they assume you're just going to get scheduled this week, because this is the week they're going to start scheduling for those first production dates, then it could be as early as December. But again, if they built in October, let's say the first one builds October 16th, 4 weeks after that, well, they won't get the okay to buy right away. So you're probably looking 1st of November. So you're probably looking the 1st of December for the very first ones to show up, the dealers. So,
all right. When I go to Ford website, it still says XL has no cruise control for Maverick.
No, it's going to be listed under your standard equipment.
Right. So I think I had answered that. That is standard on all trim levels now. It wasn't on 22, but 23 and 24, it's standard on all trim levels.
Yes, XL. Yes, XL has cruise on 23 and 24. If you're looking at a stock like 22 or somebody's trading 22, it won't have it.
Do we know anything about next year's refresh for Bronco and Bronco Sport?
I will plead the fifth. I don't know much.
And I know nothing.
I know a few things, but I can't talk about it.
All right. When do you receive an email from Ford showing they received your order with the breakdown of your build? Immediately.
Yes, you'll get that email immediately. Yes. I put somebody's in Sunday night and they got the email that night. So
I took care of that one. Okay, let's go back.
Now the breakdown of the build, you won't have that. You'll get that from your dealer. The dealership will give you your order sheet. In fact, they need you to sign that order sheet as part of COVP.
Yes.
Which is still required by dealers. So.
Priority 10 is good for our dealership. So he says he has the Everglades here. He spoke to Derek.
If you put a new order in with us this year, then we gave you priority 10 on your order. Yeah. We're giving those that had a rollover a priority 3.
Yeah.
So. Oh, I think he's the one I talked about that. I put the order in I think, the other night. So.
Power. Can one put in a change request on the 23 Maverick order to add power moonroof on a truck scheduled for production on September 4th?
Change request in. Okay, we're going to talk about that later.
All right.
Let's hold that off until later.
That.
I'll answer that later.
All right.
All right.